Welcome back to Delta Green, everybody. Cold Vault, Part 2. The vault exists and it is cold. I think we know what the Cold Vault refers to at this point, don't we? Maybe? Possibly?
Yeah, how we're gonna weekend at Berliner's this dude.
Yes, we're gonna weekend for Bernie, absolutely, this dude. Anyway, this is Delta Green, and it is a cosmic horror game that will slowly but surely destroy the minds and bodies of all the player characters, which is exactly what we want, right? And yeah, they're going through horrible things. It's rated R for alien experimentation on NPCs, gore, illusions, mental mind games, surreal horror. Is there any type of horror we haven't covered so far in the campaign? Financial horror. You know what? I'm sure we'll get there too, sooner or later. These cultists, they gotta eat too, don't they? Someone is paying for them to eat and sleep somewhere. There we go. Financial horrors. That's the next. Yeah, I'm gonna think on that hard for the next dimension. Who is Z-Cell, everybody?
Hi, I'm Brian.
I can't hear you, Ryer. We need some volume.
The mic should be at full.
Well, still not good.
In the meantime, I am Coach, and I will be playing Agent Freddy Richthofen.
Indeed. And Harper is playing.
Sorry, thought we were still working on the mic thing. My name is Harper, and I am playing Sarah Gwynn.
Now let's see if Briar has figured out.
Can you hear me better?
1 out of 5 for volume.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, we'll have to work.
I've turned your personal volume up, and it's manageable, but still a little light.
Yeah, I've tried to turn it up too. While you're working on that, let me summarize what happened last time. You had 6 months of downtime, not last session, but before that, and during that time you had been tracking white supremacist networks for the FBI. You found yourself thrust back into the shadowy world of Delta Green because A-Cell came calling again. Agent Adam, he was informed that the body of one Werner Linz, a Karateka operative who escaped them in New York, had been recovered in Germany. Linz, using the alias Bruno Kurtz, was killed during a grave desecration outside Munich. Your new mission was to travel to Germany, identify Linz's accomplices, and neutralize. We're assuming this is the Karateka because it's Linz, right? And he was connected to the workings of a hypergeometric formula in New York, as you will all recall, the summoning of Hitler's ghost. It sounds weird when I say it, but that's what you saw, isn't it? And neutralize any Karateka personnel that you could find while preventing German authorities from learning the true unnatural nature of the case. Now, luckily you have official cover for this, again, because someone high in the FBI is helpful in fixing the paperwork. You've been working for Special Agent in Charge Kincaid in New York, mapping the white supremacy groups, and she was also your mundane boss during your stakeout of the Review Holocaust Denial Conference in March. She's the one who's sending you now as liaisons to assist German authorities in this homicide investigation, possibly linked to international white supremacist networks. You are there to look at those potential white supremacist networks and work with German police to see if there is a white supremacist international organization in the works that might plan nefarious deeds anywhere. Kincaid stressed that you were guests in a sovereign nation, no authority to conduct your own investigation, and warned you against creating a diplomatic incident. I'm sure that the discrepancies, the differences between your official, polite, fact-finding mission for the FBI and Delta Green's stated Black Ops objectives won't create any problems for you at all. You arrived in Munich. It was long as an 8-hour haul. Some of you slept better on the flight, and you were met by Vice Consul Ms. Mercer, who provided you with lodging, downtown hotel. I'm not going to say an office at the consulate as much as maybe a cupboard at the consulate. They don't have that much space to... It's a consulate, not an embassy. Office space is at a premium already. And gave you some advice on navigating the proud and conservative Bavarian political landscape. That evening, after a short nap, you met with Hauptkommissar Dieter Brandt of the Munich Kriminalpolizei. That's criminal police. Brandt laid out the facts. Linz was shot from a distance by a rifle, while he and several accomplices were robbing the crypt of a wartime SS physician, Dr. Klaus Erhardt. The perpetrators removed several parts of Erhardt's body from the coffin. So basically the skeleton. Among Linz's effects was a strange forged book, that's what Brandt says, called Mein Triumph, which someone in the group might recognize, who knows. Brandt then escorted the agents to the morgue to view the body, and there you met Dr. Lena Vogelsang, and she examined Linz's corpse and revealed, also in German, that she had received strange requests from an office in Berlin for tissue samples and information about the body. And Brandt was disturbed. He declared that everybody wants his corpse all of a sudden. And that is pretty much where we ended. She could give you the lowdown on the wounds on the body, 2 shots fired, one of them went through the heart, and also some of his dental work, and so on and so forth. So, general state of the body. So yeah, you were standing there over a dead Nazi, and as far as he's a dead Nazi anyway, I put you back in the hotel here because it was an evening there where you were in the morgue, but I am not sure if you want to go straight back to your hotel or not after that. So you'll have to decide.
Sorry, so we split up from Brandt or Braun.
With the scene in the morgue is done, right? But I just to give you a chance to follow up on that, like if you wanted to do anything else with that morgue.
I believe you two would be a little more specialized in that regard.
Because you basically collected the evidence there.
I'm not a doctor or a lab technician, so I don't know if there's any specialty requests or any info you guys needed or anything.
Blair, did you want to try a medicine check or something to verify Vogelsang's conclusions?
Yeah, I can. Am I hearable now?
Yes, you are. 5x5. Thank
Very
you so
much.
Good. I got earbuds, and I forgot to test them before joining in.
Well,
Okay.
we can hear you good now.
Yay. Medicine.
Very well.
Nice.
Yeah, just looking over the dead body. Obviously, are not the person here who is in charge of actually doing the autopsy. That's Dr. Vogelsang. But you are here gathering information and liaisoning and all that stuff. nice sounding stuff, so you can have a look. And there was really nothing in her report that stands out as strange to you. You will concur. Yep, here are the 2 bullet wounds. As she says, he was not a manual laborer, no calluses on his hands. The dental work you would agree with. There are signs of dental work from, shall we say, not the richest countries in the world, where they're using other materials and tool sets that are maybe not quite as sophisticated as you would get in an American or German dental clinic. And state of the body, you'd concur with when he died and method of death. Yeah. She has not been trying to hide anything.
All right.
Did we notice any tattoos?
No.
Are we, like, how sure are we that this dude is human?
As far as Blair can tell, he looks very human. There's no... Oh, are we doing the spray bottle for the purple stuff? Have you brought it? You could, because...
I was asking if he had weird-looking teeth, but I don't think I was allowed to bring a carry-on over 3.4 ounces.
This is prior to 2001.
This is 1999. You can bring a big gulp on the airplane if you want.
Sorry for my ignorance, I was born after the fact.
Yeah,
It's
the crazy things you could get away with on a flight in 1999.
I would say you weren't missing much. There was a lot going on back then.
I feel it was much nicer to fly before 2001 and 9/11 than it was after, because they didn't ask you to take the shoes off and they weren't completely horrendous about the whole security theater around so many ounces of fluids and yada yada. But that's just me. Anyway, looking at teeth specifically, Gwyn, once again, I'm going to say that Blair will note nothing special or strange. His canines are not elongated and very sharp. They are perfectly normal.
Did anything weird show up in the tox report?
This is fairly recent. It takes a little while to get the tox report back, so they haven't actually gotten that back yet.
Alright.
So Fogelsang will say, we should have the toxicology report back in a few days, perhaps, depending on how backlogged the lab is, and she just sighs deeply.
Are there any puncture marks on the body, like needles?
Nope.
Anything that could give... Got it?
No, you can see. Not that Blair can... Oh, why don't you roll a search check? Let's go.
I was also planning on doing that.
Go ahead, or roll all the searches. We want to do that. You know what? Brandt is searching too. Why shouldn't we all be searching for things?
Oh my god.
Richthofen is great at searching, I see. All the dice across the screen. Some are succeeding better than others, right? It's sad, Gwyn. But you learn from the best this way, don't you? As
Yeah.
you're scrutinizing the body. No, there's not really anything strange or remarkable with the body. You've seen some stuff. Maybe not Gwyn as much as Blair has seen some stuff, right? You remember that time in Arizona, didn't you? Don't you?
Yeah.
When something came out of the body that shouldn't really have been there. You remember that time in... Oh my god, Blair, I'm sorry. This is definitely going to trigger your aggression, because you've been morgues so many times that I think we might be getting an acute episode coming here. I just think it triggers on just being in the wrong environment. Which is bad for you, because this environment is a place where you will often find yourself, as it were. Let's see now. Depression, where did we have that? That was... No. Depression, 70. There, I knew I had it. Depression. Reminders of past traumas. Yes, which can come in the most surprising. Okay, so, do you want to try to repress your acute episode? You can repress it by projecting the stress and trauma onto a bond.
Where's... Okay, there's bonds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll suppress it.
Alright.
Onto Willow.
Roll it. Oh my. Roll a d4. Look at that. You are going to find yourself stressed out. It's possible that just looking at the dead body and going, just the memory of the dead body in Arizona that had been so shot up and just disrupted in so many ways. And the Y incision, they've stitched up the Y incision here. But she's happy to open up the Y incision for you to demonstrate the internal damage from the bullets that ultimately killed Linz, if you want. She has her paperwork, she has everything, she's taken photos. But if you want, Dr. Fogelsang can open her up again. I think it's going to be clear for everyone that Dr. Fogelsang is not terribly interested in open up the body, because it just takes time and it's just annoying, so she's going to hope that you will go with the paperwork. And Blair, do you really want to open that chest cavity from where the thing came in Arizona? This shouldn't be the thing. There's no logical or... There's no evidence, there's no logical reason for this to be the same thing, but we're here, aren't we? And yeah, feel free to describe how Willow, your bond, might help you keep it together.
Oh. I think Blair's gonna think back on childhood memories of just the two of them growing up, originally being there for each other.
Yeah. You miss her right now?
Yeah.
You have to remind, you're doing this for her. It's not just for her. It's for everyone who is an innocent civilian who has not run into the unnatural. But in her, you have a person who represents the public. But at the same time, you're reminded of just that gulf. It started like a little crack in the start, right? And now, when you look back on how many years of service in Delta Green? 5? And it starts to feel like it starts to feel like the Grand Canyon between you and your family. Right?
Yeah.
Because she's just becoming more and more distant. There's so much, even as you're finding that motivation to hang on to, you also realize just how brittle and how distant and how that connection is slowly being rotted away at by all this. What might the rest of the group notice? This is like a flash in your mind. It might not, this does not have to be Blair sitting in a corner crying. It could be just a few seconds of thoughts flashing through her head. But if she is emoting in any way, what might the group notice?
Blair's just gone dead silent and is just staring at the Y stitching mark on the body's chest. Not moving at all.
Blair, please roll a sanity check. This is not for losing sanity. Ah, very sad. Okay. To succeed, if you had succeeded, you had suppressed the insanity or disorder and you behave normally. But that is not what happens now, unfortunately. The depression will just, like, your whole mood just sinks in your body. And I think being an analyst, as Blair is, being a doctor and in both physical and mental health, I'm sure you recognize two Blairs. One is like person Blair, private Blair, human Blair, who is just weighed down by this depression on her mind all of a sudden. And just that despair and crushing inability. And then on the other hand, standing right next to her in the same, or to them in the same mind, is Dr. Blair, who notices all the symptoms and knows what this is and yet cannot stop this. I have a feeling sooner or later someone is going to take out a prescription of antidepressants.
Yeah.
I'm going to allow Richthofen and Gwyn to roll a human check. They know Blair well enough.
Yippee. So enough to get a plus 20?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Ooh. Now remind me, how do I make that adjustment before?
Right click.
Okay, very cool. I hit roll, it doesn't seem to have worked. Oh, okay. Jeez.
I can see it dice rolling across my screen. Yeah, no.
Rolling high tonight, fellas.
Richthofen is so focused on the dead body that he doesn't notice Blair at all. Gwyn, I think you succeed actually, because I'm giving you a plus 20, so you actually do succeed. You will notice how Blair is not freezing necessarily, but how does the depression materialize?
I think they've seen it before, but it's just Blair going silent and I suppose like a played expression or emotionless one, trying to mask what's going on.
Yeah. Maybe some muttering of, "It all looks good to me." Because
Yeah.
for you to do any skill checks now requires a D4 willpower points. So it's up to Blair if they want to push through the depression and make skill checks anyway, or if you're just going to take Dr. Fogelsang's word for it.
Blair's just gonna take their word for it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think that is actually, strangely enough, oddly enough perhaps, in this situation, a way, and completely unintentionally, Dr. Blair, you have just started to build some rapport with Dr. Fogelsang. The fact that Dr. Blair is not double-checking every piece of work that Fogelsang has conducted means, in Fogelsang's mind, probably, maybe, that Blair trusts her. And that's always a way to get on a person's good side. Unintentionally, Blair might have just ended up on the like this person account of Dr. Fogelsang.
Yes, we can use that.
Nice.
My friends, says Brandt, I know you've had a long trip and I'm sure you're still feeling the jet lag, yeah? We can catch up on further investigations tomorrow. We still have many lab reports that we're waiting to hear back from. And really, it's, as far as I'm concerned, there are some questions. I have many questions, he says. Are we done here? He looks at the three of you and Dr. Fogelsang and...
I think I'm satisfied for the night.
Sehr gut. So he's gonna just say vielen Dank to Dr. Fogelsang and lead you outside, and as you're walking together, Commissar Brandt is of the old school. It's 1999. He must have started, he looks to be 55 or so. He probably started 30 years ago, which puts it to the late 60s, early 70s, which means that yes, the moment you get out from all the no smoking areas, he will pop a smoke in his mouth and light it. He's a boomer. That's what he is. That's his generation. And he's slowly walking away from this scene.
Anybody want to go in there and try to convince Local Song to give us a call and try to move the body?
What was that?
I said, anybody want to take a quick peek back in there and see if we can convince Vocal Song to give us a call before they move the body?
Oh, yeah, they're not allowed to move the body until this case is closed. Says,
I'm sorry, I thought he was walking away.
No, he's going with you guys. He's like leading you out of the house. But yeah, that piece of information would have been shared sooner or later anyway. This is an ongoing murder investigation. This is the victim. We cannot have anyone take the victim away from us.
I just remembered saying there had been, I think, several requests they received. One from
yeah,
Berlin,
there
one
were
from
requests. That's why Brandt is angry. There are requests, but he's absolutely, this is going to be... Yeah, he's looking at you guys as you're walking out of there. He's walking you to his car because he's going to take you back to the hotel. Well, Bruno Kurtz is the dead body's name on our paper. Werner Linz is his name on your papers. I would like to know who he really is, where he's really from. Travel history, employers, associates, finances, passport, false passport, I'm sure. Who built the alias? Could you fill me in on? You already mentioned that he was recognized, linked to a conference of fascists in New York City, yes? I would like to know what his real name is, yeah? We have his dental records, we have his DNA, but the DNA profile will take a time. I don't have anything necessarily to match it with. We don't really know even if he is born in Germany, or as a German national. Just because he has two German-sounding names on his papers means nothing, does it?
Yeah.
He was found at the scene of the crime with there were tools, the book. He was shot from outside the work area. Looks to me like either was he an innocent bystander? I doubt it, given his false papers. So I'm thinking he's part of this grave plundering exercise. But who killed him? Was it a part of... Did he have a crew? It looks like there was a crew in the place. We've found several footprints from others who doesn't match the size of Linz, Kurtz, or whatever his name is, his shoes. Who are these others who were there? There were many people there in the graveyard at around the same time. So did one of them kill him? Or was it another person yet again? Who fired the rifle? Was it someone this man knew? Was it another party? We do not have anything to identify. Whoever was doing the shooting was very conscious about concealing the tracks. No bullet casings. We haven't found traces of anyone, any shoes sitting in the dirt. I would be curious to hear your take on that as well. And why did they go for Erhardt? The crypt contains other dead, the cemetery contains other graves. They came for Erhardt specifically. So we have here Kurtz Linz. What should we call him? Kintz? Anyway. Who is murdered while perpetrating a crime himself. This group, of whom our victim may or may not have been a part, came looking for Erhardt, were disturbed in the act, and so didn't retrieve Erhardt's body, and left in a hurry, as judging by the tracks and tire tracks and such. And they were still under fire, it seems like. What do you make of all this? I know you're all under jet lag. I know you're all tired. I have many questions for this. Why Erhardt? Who fired the rifle? Was our body in there? Was he a victim, a participant, target?
Unfortunately, until we are able to see the actual crime scene, anything we come up with now is purely speculation. Everything you said sounds very logical. I find that situations like this tend not to be so logical.
You know, I wonder if this Erhardt has become some kind of celebrity among underground white power factions who like to collect memorabilia and more macabre things like human remains. There is a reason why the Soviets did not want Hitler's body to be found anywhere. Spread out so that the neo-Nazis cannot go to a gravesite.
Out of character, sorry, we're in Bavaria right now.
Yep.
Is that where the other grave robberies were several months ago when I was in Germany last?
Nope.
I will ask if he is aware of those.
He will say, no, I'm not.
I visited Germany on a leisure trip not too long ago with a traveling companion. And even in traveling, I was able to pick up on some stories of grave robberies and burial desecrations and such. Very likely this may be connected with those other parties. It seems you have a trip.
Huh. That's even more annoying, he says, and just kind of grunts. I suppose that is why Berlin wanted to get involved with this. Perhaps the B&D concerns about some kind of underground organization of these people. Yeah, for your information, Richthofen, there was one in Hesse and one in Lower Saxony.
Okay. And I don't remember names. I'm pretty sure neither of them were Voss. But I believe one of them was a tank ace who died during the war, and another one was somebody who was executed during the trials, but I don't remember anything about them.
Yeah, just about, yeah. So they were all Nazis. This is definitely grave robberies of Nazis who were active during the war. Yeah.
I'll look to Gwyn and Blair. Do you all have any further requests for the night?
I don't.
Okay. In that case, it would probably be best for us to try to get some rest and take a look at the crime scene with some fresh eyes tomorrow. No, we didn't get a chance to go to the store, right? Because Gwen was trying to buy a knife or something.
Oh no, you haven't got a chance to go to a store. It's too recently arrived.
Yeah. I don't know if we've got time to knock that out tonight, but like just picking up flashlights and some basic amenities and stuff like that.
Yeah, you should be able to do that. Yeah, flashlights. You should have been able to pack yourselves if nothing else. Not like anybody would get in the way of that.
I'm trying to specifically get one of those heavy flashlights. I can smack somebody with if necessary.
Yeah, I'm still allowing you to have brought that from the US. Nobody's going to question
Very
that.
cool.
Like, a really big flashlight that can also double as a club.
It's weird that uses unarmed, but whatever.
Yeah, I think it would use melee weapons, but okay.
I have the option. Oh, I guess I don't. Never mind. I'm not trying to edit it. We'll be alright.
Large flashlight is what we're looking at, right? Boom. Okay, do we call that a weapon?
Yeah, under the section, if you are under the combat section, if you look under melee,
yeah,
there is
flashlight.
heavy flashlight option.
Yeah. And it says it goes under. I guess that because it's brass knuckles, right? So if we just edit this to heavy flashlight instead of brass knuckles, I can also edit it to your melee weapons like that. Oh, done.
Very cool.
All right. Anyway, back at the hotel.
Oops, there's another high roll out of the way.
Let's waste them now, shall we? Back at the hotel, as Brandt has left you with his questions, the questions that he has, that tells you something about him. Yeah, it's now late. 9-ish in the evening of Monday, November 22nd. And tomorrow will be the full moon. I'm sure that's
awful news.
I'm sure that's fine. Not a problem at all, right?
Nazi vampires versus Soviet werewolves confirmed.
Absolutely. And what, the Soviet werewolves are using sniper rifles now?
That's how I would do it.
But not silver bullets. Oh, so the Nazi vampires will be armed with silver bullets. That's how it's going to be. Okay, gotcha.
Man. Alright, so you successfully make it back to the hotel with no issues?
Yes, you do.
Okay. And then, yeah, let's go ahead and have a little bit of a come together moment and see if we can get an initial game plan together, put everything we have on the table.
Yeah, you're there. You're also super tired right now because jet lag, and it's 9, and you wanted to sleep 2 hours ago because jet lag. I'm gonna call you all exhausted. Yes, that's what I'm gonna do. You are definitely all exhausted now. Let's go. We love our jet lag, don't we? I had to go through it twice this summer. So I'm inflicting it on you now. So, who wants to sit down and do some brainstorming around the case? Are we gonna put up a board again, like the pin board?
Let's skip on that for now, because we don't really have any info outside of what we already have in the briefing.
Fair
enough. So all of our firearms are locked up at the embassy?
Yep.
Or where?
Yep. They certainly are.
Including the rifle, or is it just the duty weapons?
That would be including the rifles, yeah. You have to have a license for the rifles, but it's interesting because you are in Bavaria, which is a conservative state of Germany, so it's probably easier to get the license for hunting rifles, hunting purposes, than it is for sidearms.
Fair enough. I thought I would be able to apply for a license at any sort of time to make it relevant.
Yeah, no, the paperwork is on the way. I'm sure Miss Mercer at the Consulate is working on that.
And was Gwen able to get a knife?
A knife?
Yeah, I know. Last session they were trying to get a knife or something specifically.
I'm sure Gwen has a knife. Do you want to have a knife, Gwen?
Yes, please.
What kind of knife?
Cool. Yeah.
A long knife or
What?
a combat dagger or just a regular thing you can open envelopes with?
Which one does the most damage?
The long knife, obviously.
Okay, I'll take that.
You have a knife. You do not
Yay.
have an assault rifle.
Aw.
You do also not have a shotgun at this particular point in time, but that's okay. The shotgun is easier to get into your hands than the sidearm. Go figure. But it's Bavaria, hunting territory and all that. Though Munich is not. You go out to the countryside to hunt, right? Anyway, are we drawing any conclusions? Do we want to put up the pin board? You said it was too early?
Yeah, not really too much info to put on there right now. So, we got a first aid kit, presumably, and I've got a flashlight, and she's got a knife. Do we have any gear or anything that's going to help us out? Obviously, no one has any surveillance equipment, but did we bring anything of significance?
For surveillance kit, that's a good question, isn't it? What kind of surveillance kit could you have brought easily? Equipment. I'm just scrolling through the thing here. Here we go. Restricted items. No, that's not what we're looking for. It is, but not completely. Surveillance equipment. Artillery! That's what we're... Wait, what? Communication computers. Restraints. I don't think you even have any cuffs at this point, but what you can get as standard stuff easily enough, you'll just be able to bring it with you. A bug detector? Directional microphone and acoustic software? Civilian night vision goggles and advanced binoculars. A lockpick kit, force entry tool, or a lockpick gun. Possibly also a first responder medical kit. That shouldn't be hard to get.
Yeah. We can't pick any locks, but I think the door entry kit, it's just a big pry bar, basically, right?
The lockpick kit, oh yeah, it requires special training.
Sorry, not the lockpick kit. What'd you call it? The
Halligan force entry
Halligan?
tool. Yeah, that's a strength test to get through. Yeah, so it's going to be a legal mark. The
Might as well
lockpick
take it as an
gun,
option.
the lockpick gun works only on simple tumbler locks, but then most doors will have simple tumbler locks, at least if they're residential and things like that. So is any of that of interest to you?
Can't really pick locks, but like I said, the pry bar is better than nothing. Binoculars are helpful, night vision, and all that sort of stuff. But basically, the whole thing I was trying to figure out is what all we do have, so that I can figure out if there's any way that we can leverage any of the nearby military bases. See if ASOL has any contacts through Bureaucracy. We might be able to get literally anything. I know there's several U.S. affiliated Air Force and military bases within a 5-hour drive.
That's a good question. Where is Rammstein? I don't remember.
It is west of where we are. I have to go back and look at a map. But it's near the western border.
Look at all the leads you have now. You have Werner Linz, or Bruno Kurtz, whatever you want to call him, and he's dead. There you go. And my sticky notes go. Oh, that's annoying. For some reason, the sticky note module has not been activated for this. We need the sticky note module, don't we? No, it is activated for this. Okay, that's weird. So it should be available, but... Oh, there it is! Haha, I found it. Shot twice by rifle. That's something we know. And that text is ridiculously large, so maybe more like that. What else do we know? We know that tried grave robbery, found at site of attempted grave robbery. Right? What we don't have right now is, was Linz or Kurtz involved in the grave robbery or not? I'm gonna actually make it a yellow sticky note here because I feel like it's, why should it be green? I don't know. There. Multiple unknown subjects implicated in grave robbery. Let's go with the yellow for that one too. Okay. Change that now. Found at site of attempted grave robbery. There. Another suspect wounded during shooting. We know that much too, right? We don't know who that suspect might have been, but we know that it happened. Shooter left no traces, including casings.
Sorry, we have reason to believe that the other person that was shot was in closer proximity to Linz, and it wasn't near where we believe he was getting shot from.
That sounds reasonable. Linz was found right next to the actual grave.
Right, but the evidence that we have somebody else was shot is presumably another pool of blood or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So they found blood traces from 2 people at the site. One was the dead body, the victim, and another one is unknown as for now. All you'd have at this point.
But those traces were also found at the grave close by?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not enough blood of that other blood to assume that the second bleeding person would have been killed at the scene. So it wasn't a huge blood stain. It was more like droplets. More like someone running with a wound.
Understood.
So that's what we know for sure right now. I'll give you a chance to roll criminology because we have something about Linz, at least. Not nearly enough about him to feel happy, but something about him. Maybe.
Shucks. Only 53 off.
Sad. Blair, Gwyn, do you want to roll criminology? This is what we're doing now with criminology, is basically a victim profile.
Yep.
Sure.
Oh! That dice was loaded. That should have been a 10, not a 90.
Right?
Ah, what was that?
Hella dice.
That was...
Wait, how is my criminology 1%? What?
Exhaustion.
Yeah, that would be it.
Oh,
That'll be it.
okay, that'll do it.
Yeah, you're all... This is your brain saying, please, don't demand anything more of me tonight. I am still not okay with the fact that the sun just only set when the clock should be afternoon now. It's like everything is wrong here. In your minds, the clock is 3 p.m. and it's 9 p.m. Go figure.
Too tired to think, so I'm gonna go to bed.
That makes sense. Is that what the rest of us all are going to do as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. That actually does make a lot of sense, doesn't it? You can hear the wind howling outside the window, apparently.
Neat.
Let's
Yeah.
see. I'm going to remove your exhaustion. You've had some... Oh, look at this functionality here! We now don't have a roll to recover willpower. You just click on the whole rest button. Thank you, Arc Dream Publishing, for,
Very
helping
nice,
us here.
friends.
Yeah. No longer exhausted. Look at that. All willpower up again. Yeah. Well, Blair, I'm gonna say that your acute depression episode is also over because you're sleeping and it heals the mind. You're also gonna be the first one to hear the phone ringing in your hotel room.
Ooh. I guess Blair's getting up and answering the phone.
Sure.
You've slept properly through the night. Everything's been good with the hotel, quiet, aside from the storm outside, or the wind lashing everything outside. And yeah, it's Brandt at the other end. Excuse me, is this... How do you answer the phone, by the way? Just hello?
I guess hello, and this is Blair speaking.
Ah, Dr. Blair, good morning. I wasn't sure if I could call you this early in the morning. Do apologize if I woke you up. But I suppose with jet lag you wake a little bit earlier than normal, yeah?
Oh, yes.
We had a disturbance at the morgue during the night. You might be wanting to come down here as soon as you're able to look at the scene. It is now, in fact, a crime scene as well.
Oh.
I suspect there was a break-in, and I think the perpetrators were coming for a dead body.
Oh. I'll wake up my co-workers and we'll get there as soon as possible.
Very good. I didn't want you to disturb your sleep too much.
Oh, it's quite alright.
Alright, Quinn. Richtofen. Blair is waking you up.
Good morning, Blair. I'm very excited to start the day.
Morning. I hope nothing terrible happened to our dear dead body while we were gone.
The lab is now a crime scene. We have to go down.
Understood.
Did they say whether or not the body was gone, or just that it became a crime scene?
They said that they think they attempted to take the body. I'm assuming it might still be there? Just based off of that wording?
Yeah. Bodies aren't exactly the easiest to steal.
So how much in a rush are we to get to the scene?
I think fairly. Not so much we should be making drive checks or anything like that.
No, that's a bad idea.
I think on the way, it would be a good idea to try and leverage either Kincaid or ACEL to see if I can roll some bureaucracy and try to get some requisition or something.
What kind of requisition are we looking for?
Since they're going to lock up our guns, it would be really cool to find literally any type of ranged weapon, as opposed to just trying to hit somebody with a flashlight who's shooting people with a silent AK.
That's fair. Okay, yeah, let's go. Do requisition. Let's go. It is standard, but more difficult because you're now far away, right?
Yeah, we do have U.S. Air Force bases and stuff, so
yeah,
might have a contact.
I'm just putting the level of difficulty for the acquisition one step higher than it would be domestically.
Cool.
Because you are, in fact, out in the wilds. We are trying to requisition things. So standard would be unusual, and it's going to normally take a few days. If you get it accelerated, you can get it within a day or two. So you will have someone will have to roll a charisma ×5 test and succeed, and if it fails there will be a review by your superiors, like Kincaid, for example.
I guess I'm confused because I always feel like that. What's bureaucracy for? Because I feel like that's requisitioning, right?
Depends on.
Yeah, get access to restricted resources. You'd think that'd be bureaucracy.
You would think so, but that's not how they wrote the rule here. I think it's actually for the higher levels to avoiding scrutiny. So, to avoid scrutiny, you can use bureaucracy.
On the skill list, when you hover over it for skills and training, it says navigate red tape, cut deals with officials, and get access to restricted resources.
Yeah, so... Wait a minute, what am I doing here? Oh, so, okay, I think the requisition is the bureaucracy check, and then to accelerate it, it's a charisma check on top of that.
Okay. There's probably somebody with better charisma than me if I don't have to make both of the checks. Like, I'll cut the deal and hand the phone over to somebody who's a little nicer, and they'll go, please make it quick.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Yes. Requisition requires a bureaucracy roll unless the handler says it's obvious that you can. So yes, you do need the bureaucracy, and because it's also unusual, if you want it accelerated, it's a charisma times 5 on top of that.
Neat. And so someone else can make the charisma and I can make bureaucracy?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Rolling my highest rank skill, everybody. Here we go.
I'm sure that Richthofen was filling out the paperwork and just gave it to Miss Mercer yesterday.
Yeah.
Because
the highest rolling person in this game, dude. I hate it.
Yes, this is good. Good work. Yeah, okay. No is the word at this particular point. Yeah. Nobody seems to be terribly interested. Yeah, we have received the application. That is basically the story at the moment. Alright, we're hastening to... So, let's see now. There is no big U.S. Army base. No, wait, the two...
Yeah, Rammstein is 4 hours away from Munich.
Garmisch-Partenkirchen. An hour and a half away.
Neat.
Sheridan Barracks, Artillery Caserne, the George C. Marshall European Center for Security Studies. So yeah, it's good for discreet U.S. military contact, safe office, medical help, comms, and so on. So yeah, there are places because NATO.
All right, well, that's all I got. So unless somebody wants to stop by a pharmacy later and make some weird spray bottle concoction to blind somebody, that's what we got.
We could also make a concoction to blow somebody up, if you want.
Do you want to take the time to do that, or are we going to the crime scene?
That shouldn't be a right now thing, but once again, if they're shooting people and trying to rob bodies literally every night, we're going to need to figure out something sooner than later.
I completely understand your impulse to arm yourself up properly with whatever improvised tools you can in this, shall we say, foreign environment. It's like being deserted on an island somewhere and just having to improvise whatever you can find. Here we go! I have a stone, and I have a stick. We can tie it together with some roots. I have a weapon now. This is the foreign operations equivalent, isn't it?
Yeah.
Alright, we are hasting ourselves over to the morgue as soon as we can. And there's going to be a car coming to help you out. To get you there. Because Brandt is nice like that.
I have a driver's license for Germany. Can I rent a car?
I guess you could rent a car, but there's a car waiting for you with sirens and stuff.
Yeah, but just for future reference, so I can travel somewhere without knowing exactly where I'm going.
That's a fair point, yes. Yeah, getting international driver's licenses is not going to be hard for you either. It's, they will definitely see to it that in the embassy that you can get those. Alright, so we have ourselves a new scene, my friends. As you come to the morgue, it's only 15 minutes since you woke up. You might have a muffin each to chew on, but there's gonna be heavy police presence here, several squad units, like cars. The lights are on, red and blue flashes of the emergency lights are bathing the buildings in the morning light with these stark colors. Plenty of uniforms outside who have put up the police line tapes, but in German. I guess they would say Achtung instead. The sky is gray. There is no real mist around here because the winds are too high. But everything shines with the slick, a little bit of a squall that came overnight. Pavement, parked cars, black windows on the buildings. And the rear loading bay is sealed off by the Bavarian police. There is a white refrigerated medical transport van that sits crooked against the dock. The hazard lights blinking weakly. It tells you that the battery is running low, probably. One front tire is shredded flat. The hood is open. The radiator has bled coolant into a puddle that mixes with the water into a greenish sheen. The van's rear doors are open. And as you are approaching there, you will see Brandt, who's coming out from the loading bay. And he looks terrible. He doesn't look wounded or anything like that. He just looks awake, soaked, furious, and tired. Well, the kind of tired that you guys were when you went to sleep. That kind of tired. He doesn't have his overcoat on. His suit jacket is just damp at the shoulders. His short collar is open. His tie is missing. There's some dried blood on a cuff. And he looks at you for a long moment. He has a paper cup of coffee in one hand. Good morning, agents. And that voice is very flat indeed. Come. There's some men in paper booties who are photographing the loading dock. There's a grey police sheet covering a broad body near the service entrance. One large gloved hand protrudes beneath the edge of the sheet. Brandt is looking at that dead body and saying, "Yeah, we have another one. And I believe this one came with the van. And I think there was a second one who left without the van." And he lifts the tape and he lets you through.
I'll go through.
The air near the loading bay smells like coolant, cordite, disinfectant, cold metal. Whatever happened here did not happen a long time ago. We're talking a few hours at max. You can see spent casings under a little yellow evidence tents. They're marked 1, 2, 3, 4. Bullet strikes chip the concrete beside the service door. One round has punched into the van's radiator. Another has shattered the driver's side window. The plates have already been removed and bagged. Brandt will point with a coffee cup. False plates, false company markings, real refrigeration, and real body restraints. Good paperwork, not perfect, just good. It leads you towards the back of the van. On the floor is a clipboard with in a plastic sleeve, transfer forms, federal language, German, obviously, Berlin authority codes. A signature is a claimed federal authority to transfer Bruno Kurtz to a secure medical facility at 3:20 in the morning.
Is there an address for the secure medical facility?
No. There is an address, but yeah. He's gonna say, yes, there is an address, but I wouldn't believe it. We are looking into it, and I think it's simply a false address. No such place.
Understood. So who are our victims, or have they been identified yet?
They have not. Dr. Vogelsang was here. Luckily.
And she is fine.
She is fine. She called me. I was asleep. Unlike some people, she did call. He's gonna lead you inside the institute. The corridors are clean. Fluorescent light reflects off tile. There is a dark smear where someone slipped or was dragged. There is a gurney lying overturned near the double doors. There is a security guard who sits on the floor against a wall with blankets around his shoulders, staring at nothing. A nurse or a night clerk, you don't know what, is giving a statement in a small shaking voice in German. A uniformed officer is photographing a dented instrument cart. They came in with papers. One man was doing the talking, one man moved the gurney. Dr. Vogelsang asked for my authorization. The talking man said that he no longer needed it. Then the quiet one, and he sort of gestures towards the covered body outside, produced a weapon. You're passing a cracked pane of safety glass, and beyond it, the administrative desk is in chaos. There's a logbook open, a phone off the hook, transfer documents just scattered, a chair knocked over. Signs of a struggle. Someone outside shuts a van. That was not my officers, and certainly not one of them.
So a third party initiated a fight with them again.
Indeed. He stops at the door to the body storage room. A third party. No reason to believe more than one. But a shooter with good aim. And I'm fairly sure that when we fish out the bullet from the radiator, we're going to see it match the bullets that killed Kurtz or Linz. Competent. He disabled their vehicle first. Tire, radiator. She engaged the odd man in the loading bay. A witness saw a woman in a dark coat, briefly, rain. Pistol. Competent to take on two people like this. Somehow she must have known they were coming here. He opens the door, cold air rolls over you, and Dr. Vogelsang is inside. Now she has a blanket over her shoulders and she has a bruise high on her cheek. Her hair is a bit of a mess by now. She looks very tired and she has a cup of coffee in her hands. She's not saying anything at the moment. Behind her, one body drawer is open and another 2 rows down is also half open. Brandt nods towards the open body drawer that is empty. Dr. Vogelsang changed the label yesterday, after the calls from Berlin.
Very crafty.
Vogelsang is just sitting there, very quietly saying, I thought I was being ridiculous. He opens that one first. Saw the wrong body. He knew immediately. He did not check the tag again. And then he looked for the correct drawer.
I don't suppose he had limps or visible injuries from a previous shootout?
No. Brandt goes to the correct drawer and pulls out the drawer and the sheet, and Linz is still there. Pale, dead, intact. There are some new abrasions along the side. They brought a full transport bag, refrigeration or restraints, a body gurney. They did not come here for papers. Or partial souvenirs, says Brandt. They came for all of him. He's looking at the three of you. Do you have any theories?
But yet at this time, it's clear that we have been unable to officially identify him. But whoever appears to be his colleague seems that he may still be identifiable, and it seems they may be attempting to recover the body.
I can't be the only one who found it a little ironic that the grave robber almost got grave robbed, right?
Brandt, I mean,
Only fair.
your attempt at humor just passes completely by the two. Maybe because Vogelsang is still under a bit of shock, and maybe because Brandt is just too tired to care.
That was a little half humor, genuinely. It's like,
Yeah,
there's gotta be
was.
something there. Yeah.
I do not believe this is relic trafficking. If it was relic trafficking, they wouldn't need the entire body. And I do not think it was extremist symbolism. I do not know why Berlin wants his hands. Why armed men arrive with a refrigerated van. Why a woman shoots the van instead of the men first.
Do you still have copies of the original requests from Berlin regarding the hands?
Yes. No, there was no paperwork involved. Simply a call.
Of course.
You might expect paperwork later on, though. Probably a fax.
I don't expect this setback will dissuade them from trying to retrieve the body further. Do we have any ID on the type of shell casings that were found on scene?
Ah, yes. The shell casings, I believe, belong to the weapon carried by one of the burglars.
And that was the lady in the coat with the pistol?
No. That was someone else. We had two
Ah.
perpetrators here. One of them got away, one of them ended up dead. Both were men. One of them had, from Vogelsang's description, an automatic pistol. It looks to me, and he looks at the shell casings, like a 45 ACP 1911. That's my guess. Common enough on the black market.
Understood.
Heavy enough to make a mark.
Well, Is there any way we could try a bureaucracy check with the actual cops this time to maybe get us some vests and guns, since our frequently visited locations are getting shot up?
That is an excellent question. I'm gonna say minus 40 on the bureaucracy check, but yes, it's always worth a try.
Minus 40.
Yeah, you are not. You don't. You'd have to, before you get the gun, you'd have to have your sort of status upgrade. What? What in the whole world? Okay, so
I'm a real bureaucratic son of a gun.
So are we gonna leave the crime site here to go and do bureaucracy, or are we processing the crime scene first? What are we doing, Barnes?
I don't have any forensics or medicine, so if there's a way to split the gang real quick for paperwork and specialty skills, this might be a good time for it.
Yeah.
Here is the face of the dead guy lying outside the morgue on the landing. Except he's dead.
How's his complexion look? Similar to Voss?
No. No, it does not.
Okay.
Oh, wait, I have to double check. Does it? Let me have a look. At my notes. No, it does not. It looks
Okay.
like a completely normal complexion. He's dead, so there's that.
But otherwise moisturized.
But otherwise moisturized, yes.
Cool. Alright. Any special requests, Gwen, Blair, while I'm at the main office?
Do you think you could get us something like a grenade?
Don't we need a skill
Grenade
for
launcher?
I don't think I could get a grenade, but I also know that I could not effectively use one.
that? Yeah, I don't think any of us can.
Can you please get me the most destructive weapon that we are capable of using?
What combat skills do you have? Do you have heavy weapons and or artillery?
Great question. I don't think so. Let me see. Yeah, no artillery, and no heavy weapons. So,
Okay. I'll see what I can do.
thank you.
Of course. Blair?
I've got no request.
Alright, in that case, I'll leave you to it. Good luck here at the crime scene, and please keep me updated.
Yep.
Is Brandt going with me, or is he staying here?
No, this is his crime scene. He's staying here.
Okay, cool.
Which he doesn't want to, it's the job. He did not get any sleep last night. Very clear. So, yeah, he is definitely exhausted by now.
That's good. Maybe he'll fail a human check against us for once.
Oh yeah, he's gonna need some rest soon because willpower points are leeching. The same goes for Dr. Fogelsang, I believe, because she didn't have any rest either. You want to do some forensic checks here, didn't we? Gwyn is the
Yeah.
forensics master, aren't you?
That depends on how you define master. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Blair's not
Okay.
bad at it either.
I keep forgetting I have a 77 in forensics.
You
That's
have
a good
all
one.
the forensics.
don't like to share the forensics.
Where'd you find all those forensics?
Wouldn't you like to know, Weather Boy?
It's under F.
Yeah, you sure got me.
Do you want me to roll the forensics, or...
I can roll them, no problem. Let's go.
Okay.
Hidden rolls, so you have no idea what happened. Okay, why did you roll them?
Oh,
See it.
I thought you said that you could roll as it'll... Oh, if you can't roll, I'll roll.
No,
My...
hidden, so you don't know if you succeed or not.
Oh.
Because
Oh.
being
sorry.
mean and secretive GM. The only
I'm
problem
sorry,
with
my
that
brain...
is that you're going to find out anyway if I make a check mark on it, which is really annoying.
My brain jiggles in my skull like some jello. My apologies.
Looking at the scene here, Gwyn and Blair. And it's interesting how multi-talented Blair has become over the years, isn't it? You have your first aid, your medical stuff, your psychotherapy, all the things. And you're also pretty good at checking out a crime scene nowadays, aren't you?
Yeah.
Not just a doctorate, you're more than that. Yeah. Asset to any team. Unless we look at our sanity, but let's not talk about that. I'm going to say that it's going to take you a good long hour to go through this scene. And you will get coffee and someone is going to have fun and maybe poke fun at you guys being American and give you donuts for breakfast. But they're German donuts, not American donuts. So they're going to taste different. Don't know how differently.
It's not just a bagel.
I'm sure there's a donut shop somewhere in Munich. It's a big city. But this is what you can tell from the scene. The refrigerated van was positioned for a full body extraction. The rear doors were open. The gurney was deployed. The body bag and even restraint straps on the gurney were sized for an adult. So whoever brought the van was here to grab the body, the entire body. They didn't come here with like a bunch of buckets or whatever. I'm gonna take the head. Judging by the pattern of ejected bullet casings, the first shots were fired from outside the loading bay into the van. Exactly the order you can't be sure of, but one round destroyed the front tire, another punched into the radiator, and only afterwards was there actual fight shooting. Oddly, the guy who has come out on the loading bay and was shot there, he came out there with a gun in his hand. He returned fire. You can see casings and impact marks from his rough position. He fired towards the exterior, like the service stairs, the parked car area in the back. He was not shot in the back while loading the body. He engaged someone outside, and after some time he was killed at close range. The fatal wounds, as you're looking at the dead body, Blair particularly here, suggest that the shooter got close and then shot two controlled shots from maybe 3 to 5 meters away. The first shot disabled, the second killed. If you stand him up, like you pick up like where he could have been standing or crouching, you can put those little sticks in the wounds that show you where the bullets came from. You would say that the shooter was crouched or covered near the loading bay wall or the service stair. And looking over the service stair, Blair, you can see blood traces, in fact. Yep. It seems like your boy lying dead here might have hit something before he was killed.
Oh.
Inside, the disturbed floor marks how the other man, Burglar 1 and Burglar 2. So Burglar 1 is on the landing, he's dead, he was shot, killed. Burglar 2 is not here, but there's traces from Burglar 2 moving inside the body storage. Tried to get the corpse out from the gurney after it took extra time to find the body, obviously, thanks to Fogelsang's interception. Linz's the dead body they were coming for here, the victim, was pulled, shifted, but not removed because apparently too heavy for Burglar 2 to move on their own. So, yeah, there is also an interesting little packet, chemical incendiary packet, near Linz's drawer that was never actually activated. I think Gwen can roll for some chemistry.
Oh no.
Oh.
So close. You're supposed to be the chemist of the group.
I know!
You'll just have to work on this for a little longer to identify exactly what this is. But yeah, there are chemicals in there. Yeah. Says Brandt, after he is looking over the work, and he is very tired and exhausted and everything. What are your conclusions? Working the scene.
Definitely looks like they had some chemical knowledge. At least. And if they had an explosive with them, then it's possible they were planning on destroying the rest of the morgue once they got the body.
What is so important about this body? Dr. Fogelsang, why don't you go home? We have taken your statement. You have done what you can. Unless you need Dr. Fogelsang for anything, she's gonna go home now. You need her? You don't need her?
Nope.
Nope.
I don't think we...
Alright.
They've been looking for the book that he had.
Well, surely they'd have to assume we'd have taken it from him.
We don't know anything about these people. They might not be as well versed in police procedure as yourselves. But one would think that they would conclude that it is a piece of evidence and would be with the station. Hold on a moment. He's gonna get on his phone and just make a call and talk German to some people, which you will not be able to understand because Richthofen isn't here. It's a 5-minute call and then he hangs up. I just ordered extra surveillance on the evidence locker in case they try to get in that way as well. So now we
No, I was gonna try to sneak in there.
Oh,
You have a couple of hours because they have just only come to this conclusion, so it's fine. I want to compare, says Brandt, the shoe size of this one here to what we found at the cemetery. Because if he was part of the crew there as well, if his shoes match up with the traces we have there, then perhaps we can see that he was part of both scenes. The other one, we don't have much to go on for the other one. They were obviously wearing proper masks.
okay.
We have an interesting mystery on our hands, don't we, Dr. Blair? Agent Gwyn?
That we do.
Why does everybody want haircuts or Linz? I am very curious about his background, and I'm going to do extensive research into his background. Just after I've had a bit of a nap, if you will. It's been a long night for me. Very well. I thank you for your assistance, Doctor. Agent, do you need to drive back to the police station? You might want to look over the evidence yourself. You have my permission. God knows I could use all the eyes and minds and brains that we could possibly devote to this right now. I don't think I will have another commissar joining me on this, though I would think that the crime has grown in proportion, so perhaps we will get some more commissars assigned to this. An attack on the morgue is something that we take seriously. This is a public institution. Anyway, do you want me to drive you back to the station?
Yes, please.
Right.
Yes, that might be best.
Meanwhile, at the station, we have a Richthofen who is alone
I'm at the station.
at the station and just doing his thing to get firearms and stuff, apparently. And German and bureaucracy, and you know exactly what strings to pull. And you call the consulate, of course, as well, because the consulate has to be roped in on this. And Mercer, she's gonna answer by phone. This is gonna be like 8 o'clock or so, and you told her, or 7:30, and she told you call anytime, and she's gonna be obviously still in bed because she had not planned on being awake right now. So it's a Tuesday, but yeah, she's getting up out of bed. And what kind of support can I get you, Mr. Richthofen?
We've been here approximately 18 hours, and it seems that all of our frequently visited sites are being shot up by multiple parties. We would like to request that we are able to pull our sidearms out of duty for personal protection, then maybe even get some armored vests if possible.
I think it will be easier to get you the armored vests than the sidearms, because the armored vests are not an offensive weapon. They're not something that risks harming anyone else. But I'll get right on it immediately and talk to the Munich PD and to the state level as well to get the paperwork done as quickly as I can. You succeeded with the bureaucracy check, didn't you?
I did.
You did? Okay, this is an official requisition, and you succeeded with all the things. So, normal time for this is a few days.
And so a charisma might be able to quicken it up.
A charisma might be able to quicken it up. The question is, do you want to use Richthofen's charisma or Mercer's charisma? Her charisma's... Oh, look at that. I haven't actually filled out her stats.
Well, 18 charisma.
On my sheet here. What was that?
I said, wow, 18 charisma. Crazy.
It's- I'm gonna check my notes for her stats. But let's say that, so to do a couple of days. So a few days sounds like 3 days to me. It's unusual, but here we are. She has good charisma, so she can actually try to hurry this along a little bit.
Very cool.
So I'm gonna roll her charisma check. How about that?
Ooh.
Wow, she was able to get us both. That's crazy.
She was. Are you
Mercer,
happy
you're
now
all
that
right.
Mercer is on your side? Very good diplomat, right? Very good vice consul. She is able to pull a string or so, you should be able to have them tomorrow. This is...
Mercer, you're incredible.
And she will have arrived at the police station like half an hour after you call her. So by 8 o'clock she's there, she's talking to people, she's making the phone calls, she's getting your signature, she's getting various paperwork and you're filling them out and so on. She's speaking fluent German just like you, and things are moving ahead. And as you say that she's incredible, I just want our law enforcement agents back in one piece. Otherwise, I have a feeling the ambassador would be grumpy with me. Not good for my career, let's say, if you are hurt in any way, shape, or form while on duty in foreign lands. You're not going to do anything silly with the guns, I hope?
No, of course not. Nothing but professionalism for us.
Of course. At least we should be able to get you protected, right? That's the most important part. Come back in one piece. That's what we want.
Of course. And once again, out of character, Mercer doesn't have any affiliation. She's just the one who received us on this from Kincaid, right?
Yeah, she's not, as far as she's not Delta Green. Could
Okay.
be a friendly, but you haven't been told that she's a friendly. That's the best. What you know is that she is just another diplomat. She would sort under, what is it called? Foreign Department? Foreign Service?
I think it's Foreign Affairs, but I'm...
Foreign Affairs? Yeah, the same as the ambassador. So,
Very
yeah,
cool, very
she's
cool.
a completely different. She's in a completely different bureaucracy from you. But she is also here to back you up and get you through all the twists and turns of navigating a foreign country's legalities and bureaucracy.
Neat. Then yeah, as soon as she and I were able to wrap up with that, I'll go ahead and give Blair a call, kind of let them know the situation, and see if I can head back that way or what the plan is.
By now they're heading back towards the station, because I'm assuming that your work with the paperwork takes a couple of hours too.
Probably.
But Mercer is going to leave the station by the time Gwyn and Blair arrive, and you can fill in Richthofen on what has happened. Brandt will just drop them off, maybe say hi to Richthofen really quickly, but he says, I really need to have a nap, and because it was a long night, so I'm going to go home and get some shut-eye. I'm going to go home. I'm going to have to sleep for a few hours. I'll be back in the afternoon to do what we can then, yeah? Feel free to look over the evidence and come up with working theories. Who is this third party? Is this a gang war in the criminal underworld, in the body smuggling business? How desirable is this Linz or Kurtz? Who is he? Where is he from? Why do they all want him? I need answers to this. Otherwise, well, you are police officers as well. Entschuldigung, I'm very tired. I had a long night. And he grabs his tie and his trench coat, and you all have visitor badges by now, and so you can move relatively freely inside the Munich Kriminalpolizei house.
Then yeah, I think really the only piece of evidence I would kind of want to check out without somebody looking over my shoulder is I would try to thumb through that other copy of the Mein Triumph. And I thumbed through it earlier, and it seems to be pretty much all the same basic content in the book, right?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you bring out. Oh, did you bring your own copy of Mein Triumph?
No, I didn't bring my own copy, but earlier when I had thumbed through the book, I was just making sure that it aligned with what I had read over the months.
Yeah, no, you can bring it out again. Gwyn and Blair, I don't know what you have planned here. A flip chart, a corkboard. What are we doing here to go through the evidence that you have so far?
A notebook would probably be best, just so we're not, like, leaving behind evidence of any Delta Grade knowledge we have.
Yeah.
That might be a good idea, yeah. So let's bring up a notebook here that you can carry on in your inner pocket. What are we theorizing?
Thinking this is definitely tied to the necromancy cult from the state.
Yeah.
I think it's also possible that they've gotten Sapphire to the point where they can resurrect people while preserving their memories. And that's probably why they were trying to retrieve the body.
So, we expect Linz to have been able to, or we expect Linz was the one to perform the ritual, correct? So, clearly Linz has some sort of arcane ability. It doesn't seem too surprising they would be trying to bring him back. Now, the fact that it was a physician they were trying to originally secure is somewhat concerning. If it had been another war hero or someone to that degree, then that might give a little bit more of an interesting information. But I feel like the fact that it was a physician means maybe they still have work to do on Sapphire. Maybe there's still some sort of medical work that needs to be done.
But then also, why would they try to take the body back?
They were trying to pass it off as an official transfer, right? So they probably needed to blend in.
Presumably they're trying to bring the body back via whatever means, if it's Sapphire or however they do so. But the real question is why, before Linz was shot, why were they trying to get a physician when they had been going after what was like war heroes and soldiers? Maybe this is two different factions. Maybe one group has Sapphire and the other doesn't, but maybe they have similar origins.
What if this physician also knew about hypergeometry, and they're bringing him back not because he was a physician, but rather because he had other knowledge?
That is also, unfortunately, possible. Yuck. Okay. I'm not sure how much it means that the members we're finding who are being killed in these engagements are being shot with guns and not burned, or can you even hurt someone with magic? Is that a thing?
Roll unnatural.
Okay, that's
The
fair.
first time I get to ask you to roll unnatural. How does that make you feel?
We'll see. Not expecting a lot out of it, but hey. Okay,
Let's
yeah.
roll. Yeah, no. You have no idea. What can't you do with hypergeometric principles?
That is a fair point. At the very least, these people are being killed via fairly mundane means. Whether or not they have access to hypergeometry on the back end, it doesn't seem they're using it in these engagements on the street level. What I'm really scared of is to find out there's some sort of fight between this faction and maybe another group. Because from what we saw of Galt, he was definitely moving in a way that could be traced back to the special forces style ambushes that have been going on.
Right.
I'm really hoping that's not the case, but I feel like we're more likely to run into him here than when we ran into him last time.
Yeah.
I am going to look in the back of this copy of Mind Triumph, and I'm going to try to see if it has the same ritual that was written in the back of the copy that I picked up last time.
It does indeed.
Of course.
Okay. But nothing else other than that one, everything, I guess, considering it's pretty much an identical replica of the one that I have at home then.
Oh yeah, yeah, very much. They have mass-produced this book somehow. Though there's several. Someone has a printer somewhere. But the publisher, it doesn't have the same type of. When in your typical books, you'll have publishing house and year and things like that put down at the very first pages. Nobody's doing this for this book. You can't go like, oh, this was published by Tor in 1967. Let's talk to the editors. Maybe they know something. That's not going to happen.
So where I failed passed the sanity roll last time, I'm pretty much just under belief that whatever this spell is in the back is just kind of hokey, right?
What was this last part you said?
Kind of like hokey, like hokum, whatever.
Oh yeah, it's obvious nonsense.
Okay, I'll even mention.
Crystals, New Age, that kind of stuff. They're just trying to be cool. As a historian, you're a historian, aren't you? Like, how much history do we
Yeah, I am. Fluid.
Fluid history. History 60. Yeah, you will be well aware that the Nazis were very much into their weird occultology thing. The Thule Society you would have heard of, which is, of course, the organization that Himmler was the boss of. They were very much into mysticism, paganism, Nordic paganism. They didn't necessarily sit too well with Christianity, though none of them were like, oh, we're heathens, let's bring back the Norse gods in public. There was definitely a type of neo-pagan ideation among them.
I guess I'm going to hand the book over to Blair and explain. In my copy, much like this one, they seem to have some sort of mechanisms how to cast the spell to contact the Fuhrer. I'm not sure if that's anything you want to try to make any sense of, but it seems like nonsense to me. The rest of the book is basically trying to imply that the mechanisms of the Holocaust were basically some sort of magical engine or circle that was used to propel Hitler into some sort of ascension. Doesn't seem too believable to me, but...
Oh. Okay, then.
I know you all mentioned you thought you saw something, but
Yes. I still fully believe that I saw some sort of apparition. Don't know if it was the real Hitler or not, but
I'm not sure how seriously you believe that. But if so, whoever may have performed that ritual, if you believe that was the case, was in possession of this book. So, might be worth at least taking those pages out of it, just so no one else is able to recreate that, if that's even possible. Not that I think that's a big concern, but ultimately, you have a little more skin in the game.
with how much stuff I've seen over the years, I fully believe that to a degree it's real. Maybe not everything, but some of it at least.
Then do you think it's worth taking the pages out of the book, or just leave it as it is?
It might be worth taking them out, because I'm sure most people will just write it off as crazy nonsense, but there are idiots out in the world that would actually try this.
Understood.
There will be a knock on the door.
Who's at the door? Oh.
This person is at
I
the
get my flashlight.
Ah! Just flatten it up and smack and dead and gone forever. Ha ha.
Take that, Weissmann.
Exactly. Oh dear. Yeah, no, this young lady comes in. She's in her 30s, ash brown hair pulled back neatly, minimal makeup, dark blazer over a blouse, and she'll Entschuldigung, she'll say in German, which means excuse me, and she'll say in German, are you the Americans?
I'll reply in German.
Oh,
Most of us.
oh, very well. She kind of relaxes a bit. Oh, you speak German. Huh. That's very good. I'm afraid my English is not very good.
I don't know if I believe that. I roll human.
Okay, go ahead, roll human. She's clearly lying about everything. There you go. Incorrect information. She's saying
Thank
it
you.
so that you can drop your guard and speak English in front of her so she can just spy on everything you do. That's what she's saying.
I mean, that was my defensive role there, so I guess, yeah, I would believe that.
That is actually the thing that makes sense. In this world, there is total and insufficient paranoia, right?
That's true.
That's
Yeah.
the only two modes.
Yep.
Yeah, she says, I do apologize for interrupting whatever you have going on here, she says to you, Richthofen, and to the rest of you, because right now she just assumes that you're all speaking German. I was called in just now by my boss, and I said I was assigned to this case, Brandt's case, of the situation at the morgue and the cemetery. Given the situation, more personnel have been requested. I'm only just assigned to the case now, and I will have to look over the evidence and get myself and study up the case properly, of course, but I understand the evidence is here, and Brandt's notes, I have them, copies of them, and I understand that you are here as foreign liaisons. She lets that kind of...
We are here as foreign liaisons, yes.
Foreign liaisons.
Can I go ahead and see the copies of your notes and orders that you've been provided, please?
She looks at you a little bit puzzled. Of course. Why? But yeah, she has order. Everything is in order as far as you can tell. You might not have any law skill, but you have bureaucracy, and it has all the right stamps and things.
Very good. This is primarily Brent's case. He's made that very well known. So
Oh,
I would
yes.
prefer
he's
not
lead,
give
but-
any more information.
No, of course. No, he is my supervisor, and I will work for him. But since he had a long night, I'm trying to pick up some slack here and keep working on the case while he's away. And when he's back in the afternoon, I'm sure we'll be able to talk to each other more. Everybody roll a human.
Running the wins.
Gwen,
Yeah.
we love your human.
I love it too.
What do we want to do with your human fumble?
May I see the table?
Of course, it's under rollable tables.
1d6 physical damage.
Gwen stumbles and hits the side of the conference table right in the corner, gunk against her head, and gets a bad concussion. That's all I got. Sorry.
That would be funny since I already got my shit rocked from a dodgeball.
Are we seriously going with that? Okay.
Why not?
Roll a d6 for 1d6 hit points. Let's go.
Medic!
Medic!
Oh no!
Oh!
Oh my god! Medic! Four
We're
hit
rolling
points
first
left.
aid.
Oh my god, Weissmann is shocked. There's blood everywhere. Like, oh my god! She's gonna go and get a medic and everything. Blair, you're on the scene here. First aid this stuff. This is a success. Roll a d3 for recovery.
Okay.
Nice
Thank
indeed.
you.
Yeah. Okay. By the time Weissmann is back in the room, there'll be... Yeah, she'll come in with a first aid kit, and the station nurse or what have you will also look things over. Gwen is going to get some aspirin or whatever it's called in Germany, the equivalent. Painkillers to heal up a bit. It's going well for you, Gwen, so far, right? The whole... But Blair succeeded with your human. Weissmann has been holding something back a little bit. There is an uncertainty to her. How much do I share? How much do they know? What's the protocol here? She's a little bit out of her element.
Blair's just gonna quietly share that with Richtofen.
Yeah, you had a moment there, so absolutely.
That's unfortunately to be expected. She may be third party. Just keep an eye out.
Okay.
Very much sketched out by Weissmann. Hearing that and also thinking that she speaks perfectly fluent English and is lying about it, very suspicious of her.
Very suspicious. The most.
Guess just keep an eye on her. I would say keep info quiet, but I presume you won't be speaking too much German to her, so I'll do my best on that front.
Weissmann will ask Gwen and Blair. Gwen now has a nice bandage over her head. You really managed to get her shiner, didn't you?
Awesome.
But Weissmann will ask you, like, I don't know exactly how much you know about German police work. And how much Brandt might have told you?
He told me the basics, but I am mostly unfamiliar with your procedures and regulations.
Very well. At 4 o'clock this afternoon, 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock this afternoon. She'll say 1500 hours is what she's going to say, because that's how Europeans speak. There will be a meeting, an inter-agency meeting. I'm sure you will be allowed to participate, because you are our allies and friends. But with the attack on the burglary on the morgue, the entire case have gotten a great deal more attention and profile. So I would expect the BKA Staatsschutz and the BFV to also be involved here. Possibly even the BND.
Understood.
Are you
So-
aware of these organizations?
I can loosely assume they're different policing organizations within the country via different jurisdictions, but I don't know them all specifically. With a law zero, at least I'm pretty sure I know.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't. The BND, if they come from Berlin, they have offices here, of course, is the Bundesnachrichtendienst, and that is our national security agency, I suppose it translates to. It's our secret police, perhaps, yes. It's there to protect the Constitution from enemies of the Constitution. And then we have our Bundesamt für Verfassungsschutz, which is a domestic intelligence service, and then we have the Federal Criminal Police, the Staatsschutz, which is more like your FBI.
Understood.
So, yes, intelligence agencies and the Federal Police.
Any other sub-organizations we should keep an eye out for?
No, that should be it. A burglary at a morgue is... I don't know that it's necessarily of national significance, or wouldn't have been if the perpetrators were not involved in white supremacy. That's why they are here. I don't expect that any of these organizations, the Verfassungsschutz or the Staatsschutz or any of them, will send a great deal of agents to deal with this. It is still a criminal police matter within Munich, but I'm sure they will want to be kept in the loop.
And how often do task force like these get thrown together?
Not often, but this is white supremacy. We take it very seriously here in Germany.
Understood.
Mostly, I can't say that I have a long history of working with white supremacy here in Munich, Bavaria, but most of what our white supremacists have been doing is either engaging in Holocaust denial, that's some old war veterans who try to defend their name. They're very old now. They are retired. They have old boys networks, clubs, and so on. And then you have the neo-Nazis, of course, but they tend to attack Turks in the streets and refugees in the streets. They tend to wield baseball bats and throw Molotov cocktails. And there's arson and there's all sorts of nasty things. Maybe they attack gay bars and such, which is terrible for those who are being attacked, but it's not a threat to the Republic. It is violent crime which can be solved by local police 99% of the time. This has us baffled. I can't say that I have a lot of veterancy compared to Brandt, but I mean, we've seen cases of grave robbery and desecration before. They have their need to have their artifacts and souvenirs for their strange, I suppose, spiritual practices. But I can't say that it's ever come to gunplay before, and I definitely can say that I've never heard of white supremacist neo-Nazis trying to burglarize a morgue before. This is new for us.
Yeah, we understand it's a strange outlier type situation, and that is the reason that you have outside help on this one.
Yes, that is also the reason why we will have the whole alphabet soup in the room in the afternoon. Anyway, is there anything you wanted to bring me up on the case on? And she's going to sit down and start taking notes and start reading through the notes, because she's just assuming that you're 3 completely normal federal agents from the FBI who are collecting evidence on a very mundane case that has absolutely nothing to do with Nazi vampires. So she will not know that she might be disturbing you in your we're trying to connect this to Nazi vampires and figure out who is shooting at Nazi vampires. She doesn't know that part yet. But we will find out more about all of that in a week from now, won't we? When we get back to this, and this mystery might finally be maybe some leads. Meanwhile, I think we should go on a raid to people who are doing some D&D for reasons. Next week, turn in at the same channel. Remember to follow and subscribe and everything to be in touch with your ACEL. And we'll see you all in a week from now.